10 sacrifices you have to make to become rich. Creating wealth to some people is having more than what you need. But here at Xlani, we start with a beginner's mindset. Brain bites to the affluent, knowledge to the aspiring. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now let's get straight to the video. Accumulating wealth is one of the most common aspirations for people. If you ask people what they would wish for if they had a magic lamp, invariably almost everybody would want lots and lots of money. The desire for instant monetary success is so powerful that the internet is bombarded with all kinds of get-rich-quick schemes that like to prey on people's vulnerability when it comes to financial security. However, like anything else in life, accumulating wealth involves diligence, hard work, and ultimately some sacrifices. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down 10 sacrifices you'll have to make on your journey towards wealth. Number 1. Live below your means. When the poor and middle class get some extra money, they're more likely to spend it on frivolous goods than their upper-class counterparts. A classic example of this can be seen when looking at the difference between a young Jay-Z versus Jay-Z nowadays. When he was young and had a net worth of around $100,000, he was adorned with huge, luxurious gold chains, enormous diamond rings, and all designer clothes. Nowadays, with his net worth close to $1 billion, his look is rather plain. Spending less than what you earn is one of the things rich people do in their journey toward accumulating wealth. So instead of spending on things that instantly depreciate, like a bigger house or a sports car, you'd be better off downsizing to a smaller apartment and driving a basic domestic coupe. Number 2. Stop buying things, start buying assets. We invite you to do a little social experiment. Ask your friends and family what they would do if they were instantly granted $1 million, cash in hand. You'll likely hear answers such as, I'd buy a new car, a new house, a new laptop, and get a new wardrobe, etc. What you're less likely to hear is, I'd make investments. I'd buy stocks, bonds, or invest in real estate. One of the biggest mistakes that the poor and middle class make is spending their money on gadgets instead of investing their money into assets. An asset, simply put, is something that earns you money instead of taking money out of your pocket. You could buy a boat, which is referred to by the rich as a hole in the water you throw money into, or you could buy stocks that will appreciate over time. Delaying your gratification is essential on the quest toward riches. Number 3. You have to dedicate yourself to learning. Financial IQ is probably the most essential aspect of becoming rich. Unfortunately, it's not a skill that's taught in school. Schools are designed to teach people how to become good employees so that they can have job security. But they don't teach things like risk management, how to invest, how to do accounting, how to read markets, or how financial laws work. If you're truly invested in accumulating wealth, you're going to have to dedicate yourself to learning. Not only do you have to educate yourself on the intricacies of finance, but you also have to invest time into understanding yourself. Having a deep awareness of your flaws and strengths is an invaluable tool that will help you identify potential problems and help define a clearer path for you to take. Therefore, if you want to be rich, you're going to have to sacrifice a lot of time towards studying and learning. Number 4. Surround yourself with goal-oriented people. This will not be easy for a lot of people to accept, but the fact of the matter is, who you hang out with speaks volumes about your character. The fact of the matter is, if you're surrounded by people who are lazy or do just enough to get by or complain about their problems instead of taking responsibility for them, those negative characteristics will seep their way into your outlook. It's a difficult thing to come to terms with, but you may have to cut out people in your life. If you want to become wealthy and successful, you have to surround yourself with wealthy and successful people. You can also choose to hang out with people in similar situations like your own, but who share your passion and desire to accumulate wealth and financial freedom. So instead of sitting in a bar listening to your financially inept buddy complain about his wife, you should be sitting at home with your friend discussing what business ventures you guys can invest in together. Number 5. Cut out distractions. There's no denying that in 2020 we're constantly being bombarded with media. With television, YouTube, social media, blogs, and Facebook, we're incessantly presented with opportunities to procrastinate. However, the unfortunate reality is that these distractions are the enemies of success. Instead of binge watching your favorite series on Netflix, you could be balancing your checkbook, reviewing your finances, and looking for new investments. Instead of spending hours getting into political arguments with your family on Facebook, you could be reading books to increase your financial acuity. The fact is, watching Gilmore Girls isn't going to help you on the road towards financial freedom. Limit these distractions in your life and focus on your goals, and you'll see yourself and your bank account reap the benefits. Number 6. Learn to thrive on stress. Some people fold under pressure. Other people thrive on it. The misconception when it comes to this is that these are innate traits rather than learnable skills. In reality, the opposite is true. Learning how to manage, deal with, and weaponize stress to your advantage is one of the secret ingredients to accumulating wealth. Let's face it, life is stressful, and when it comes to finances, things can be particularly so. Therefore, it's especially important not to fold under that pressure. Stress is a natural and unavoidable part of life, in every aspect, not just monetarily. Learning how to direct that energy towards something positive instead of being overwhelmed by it will help you immensely on your road towards success. Number 7. You'll have less time for your family. Getting rich takes a lot of time and effort. There's simply no way around it. If you're dedicated to accumulating wealth, your social life will have to suffer. Going out and spending money at the clubs with your friends might feel good in the short term, but in the long term, it'll be yet another roadblock on the road to financial freedom. Managing your family life can be especially tricky when trying to become wealthy. It may be that you have to see less of your friends and family so that you can put in the hard hours of work necessary for success. However, it can help to think of it as a delayed gratification. If you work harder now, you'll have the financial stability and freedom to spend as much time with your family as you want in the future. Number 8. Stability is an illusion that prevents wealth accumulation. The rich don't become rich by playing it safe. Becoming wealthy involves taking risks. Stability is super appealing, in fact, being the thing that most people strive towards. But perhaps that's the reason why most people don't retire as wealthy individuals. Risk can be a scary thing, but it can be mitigated with smart planning and execution. At some point in your life, you're going to be met with an opportunity that may make you a wealthy person. Most people are too afraid to risk it. That's what separates the hyper-successful from the average. People tend to view investments as a gamble, and if you go into it blindly, then you are gambling. But if you measure the risks and do your due diligence, it isn't a gamble, it's a calculated risk. Learning the difference is key when trying to become wealthy. Number 9. Stop trying to please everyone. This is a great life skill to have even outside of the financial world, but it's especially necessary on the road towards wealth. Not everyone will understand your motivations. They may see your attitude as being cold, rude, or somehow toxic. The fact of the matter is that it's impossible to please everyone and unrealistic to expect everyone to like you. Along the way, you're going to have to make decisions that some people won't like or understand. Accepting this will make the journey to success much easier. Number 10. Pride comes before the fall. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Learn from them. Often people's egos and sensibilities can interfere. Many people are afraid of making mistakes, and this is reinforced in traditional schooling, where we are penalized for making mistakes. However, the only way to truly learn is by making mistakes. If you become too prideful, too arrogant, too unwilling to accept your faults, then you'll cease to learn. And as stated earlier in this list, learning is probably the most essential aspect of becoming wealthy. Don't let your pride get in the way of your financial gains. There's always something to learn and improve upon. Getting a big head will only cloud your judgment. Stay clear-headed, focused, and humble, and success will follow. That wraps up our list of the 10 sacrifices you'll need to make to become rich. What'd you think of the list? Do you have any ideas for sacrifices you think are necessary for financial gain? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit like and subscribe to see more content on financial education and growth.